About Sahih al-Bukhari? Sahih al-Bukhari is a collection of hadiths compiled by Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Ismail al-Bukhari rahimahullah. His collection is recognized by the majority of the Muslim world as one of the most authentic collections of the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him. It contains about 7,563 hadiths, including recitations, in 98 books. The translation given here is Dr. M. of Mohsin Khan. Author biography. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah is known as Amir al-Mu'minin in hadith. His genealogy is as follows: Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Ismail ibn Ibrahim ibn al-Mughira ibn Bardijbah al-Bukhari. His father Ismail was a well-known and famous muhaddith in his time and had the privilege of being in the company of Imam Malik, Hamad ibn Zayd and Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahimahullah. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah was born on Jumu'ah, Friday, 13 Shawwal 194 H. His father died in his childhood. He performed Hajj with his elder brother and mother at the age of 16 after memorizing the compiled books of Imam Waqi and Abdullah ibn Mubarak. After completing the Hajj, he stayed in Mecca for 2 more years and left for Medina when he reached the age of 18, compiling the books Qadayas Sahaba wa at-Tabi'in and Tariq al-Kabir. Imam al-Bukhari also traveled to other important centers of Arabia in search of knowledge, such as Syria, Egypt, Kufa, Basra, and Baghdad. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah first started listening and learning hadith in 205 AH, and he started his travels in 210 AH after benefiting from the ulama of his town. His memory is considered one of a kind. After listening to hadith, he used to repeat it from memory. It is known that he memorized 2,000 hadiths in his childhood. There are several books compiled by Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah. His Sahih is considered as the highest authority on hadith collection. He named this book Al-Jami al-Musnad as Sahih al-Muqtasar min Amuri Razalallahi Salallahu Alayhi wa Sallam wa Sananahi wa Ayamihi. After he finished, he showed the manuscript to his teacher Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah for approval, followed by Ibn al-Madini and finally Ibn Ma'in. It is also recorded that it took 16 years for Imam al-Bukhari to collect the hadith and write the Sahih, which dates to 217 AH as the year he began the compilation. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah was only 23 years old. In fact, before putting a hadith in his collection, he took a bath and prayed 2 rakats of nafil prayer asking Allah for guidance. He finalized every hadith in the Prophet's mosque between the grave of the Prophet Pbuh and his pulpit and wrote the hadith in the mosque. Only after he was completely satisfied with a hadith would he place it in his collection. Classification and annotation method. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah imposed conditions that all narrators and witnesses of hadith chains must fulfill before including a hadith in his book. 1. All narrators in the chain must be upright, ADL. 2. All narrators in the chain must have strong memory, and all muhaddis with great knowledge of hadith must agree with the narrator's ability to learn and memorize with their reporting techniques. 3. The chain must be complete with no missing descriptors. 4. It must be known that successive narrators in the chain have met each other. This is the additional condition of Imam al-Bukhari. Imam an-Nawawi rahimahullah narrates that all scholars of Islam agree that Sahih al-Bukhari has earned the status of being the most authentic book after the Quran. Sahih al-Bukhari contains 7,563 hadiths, including those that are repeated. Although without repetition, the total number of hadiths is about 2,600. His students. He settled in Nishapur in 864/250 AD. It was there that he met Muslim Ibn al-Hajjaj, who would be considered his student and eventually the collector and compiler of the hadith collection Sahih Muslim, considered second only to al-Bukhari. His death. Political troubles forced him to move to Kartanka, a village near Samarkand, where he died in 256 AH/870 AD.